What would drive thousands to leave the land they call home and start over in a world so different? Across oceans and continents, a silent migration is underway. Young Israelis, backpacks slung, eyes wide with hope, step into the chaos and color of India. Not as tourists, but as dreamers, entrepreneurs, and seekers of something more. What's pulling them from Tel Aviv to Goa, from Jerusalem to the Himalayas? Stay with us, because what's happening right now could change the story of two nations forever. The story of Israeli migration to India began quietly in the early 1990s, soon after India and Israel established full diplomatic relations in 1992. Young Israelis, many just out of military service, were among the first to arrive, drawn by India's promise of adventure and peace. In those early years, most arrivals were backpackers, seeking spiritual retreats in Goa and the Himalayas. By the late 1990s, the number of Israeli visitors had surged, with over 40,000 traveling to India each year. The Indian government welcomed these visitors, easing visa restrictions and encouraging cultural exchange. Many Israelis found a sense of freedom and acceptance in India that was hard to find elsewhere. Over time, the relationship deepened. In the 2000s, both governments signed agreements on trade, technology, and defense, making migration and collaboration even easier. Early Israeli migrants often settled in small communities, opening guest houses and cafes, and sharing stories of their journeys. Their experiences paved the way for thousands more to follow. By 2010, India had become one of the top destinations for young Israelis traveling abroad. Some came for a few months, but many chose to stay, drawn by India's affordability and vibrant culture. Today, millions of Israelis have visited India, and thousands have made it their home, shaping a unique chapter in the story of both nations. But what motivates Israelis to leave behind one of the world's most advanced nations for life in India? The answer lies in a mix of history, opportunity, and the search for belonging. For every young Israeli, military service is not just a duty, it's a rite of passage. The experience shapes their identity, but it often leaves deep emotional scars. Many return home carrying invisible wounds, post-traumatic stress, anxiety, and a longing for peace that daily life in Israel can't always provide. One former soldier shared, "After my service, I felt lost. I needed to find myself again, somewhere far from conflict." For thousands, India became that sanctuary. Its tranquil mountains, lush forests, and spiritual communities offer a space to heal. Israelis flock to yoga ashrams, meditation centers, and Ayurvedic retreats, seeking not just relaxation but transformation. As one traveler put it, "In India, I finally learned how to breathe again." The Himalayas and Goa have become centers for emotional recovery, where Israelis find community and a sense of belonging. For many, India is more than a destination. It's a place where the soul can finally rest. But healing is only part of the story. Many Israelis also discover something deeper, a connection to India that feels like home, and a new chapter of life that begins with hope. For centuries, India has been home to vibrant Jewish communities like the Ben Israel in Maharashtra, the Cochin Jews in Kerala, and the Baghdadi Jews in Kolkata and Mumbai. These groups found acceptance and peace, building lives far from persecution. Unlike in Europe or the Middle East, India became a rare safe haven for Jewish life. Synagogues like the Paradesi Synagogue in Kochi and the Magen David Synagogue in Mumbai still stand as symbols of this unique coexistence. Jewish festivals like Hanukkah and Passover have been celebrated in Indian cities for generations, blending Indian and Jewish traditions. Community members recall vibrant gatherings, music, and shared meals. These communities contributed to Indian society as teachers, doctors, artists, and traders. Their stories are preserved in oral histories and interviews with elders who remember a time of harmony and shared culture. This historic acceptance makes modern Israelis feel instantly welcome. The legacy of tolerance and integration continues to inspire new arrivals from Israel. Today, as a new wave of Israelis blends into Indian communities, they draw on the rich heritage of those who came before, creating a new chapter in the story of India's Jewish connection. At first, Israelis arrived as tourists, drawn by India's beauty and freedom. But soon, many saw opportunity, opening cafes, bakeries, and guest houses in places like Goa, Manali, and Dharamkot. Today, Israeli entrepreneurs are launching tech startups in Bengaluru, running organic farms in the Himalayas, and forming art collectives in Indian cities. Some face challenges, navigating local regulations, language barriers, and cultural differences. But many Israelis collaborate with Indian partners, hiring local staff and sharing skills. Their businesses boost local economies, creating jobs, attracting tourists, and inspiring innovation. Success stories abound: a Tel Aviv chef opening a fusion restaurant in Goa, a former soldier launching a wellness retreat, and artists hosting international festivals. For many, India offers what's rare in Israel: affordability, creative freedom, and a sense of belonging. In Israel, the average cost of living is among the highest in the world. Housing, groceries, healthcare, and education can consume most of a family's income. In contrast, India ranks as one of the most affordable countries. Rent in cities like Manali or Goa is often less than a tenth of what you pay in Tel Aviv. According to recent studies, Israelis can save up to 60% on daily expenses by relocating to India. Food, transportation, and services are all significantly cheaper. Many Israelis say the quality of life in India is higher thanks to less financial stress and a slower pace of living. Digital nomadism is booming. Remote work lets Israelis earn global salaries while spending locally, making India a hotspot for tech workers and entrepreneurs. Experts say this trend will continue as more Israelis seek affordable lifestyles and flexible job opportunities abroad. But with this freedom comes new challenges, as some Indian locals worry about rising prices and cultural changes in their communities. With new opportunities come real challenges. In some villages, headlines have reported disputes over noise, land, and cultural clashes. Some Indian villagers have voiced frustration about loud parties, unfamiliar customs, and what they see as an Israeli bubble forming in their towns. There have been controversies over rave parties and drug use, with some blaming a small segment of the Israeli community for these issues. Informal land deals and rising property prices have sparked fears among locals of being priced out of their own communities. Generational and cultural gaps are clear. Conservative villages sometimes struggle to understand the free-spirited newcomers. But local authorities and community leaders are stepping in, organizing dialogues, cultural events, and mediation sessions to foster understanding. In some towns, Israelis and Indians now celebrate festivals together, run joint businesses, and support local charities, turning friction into cooperation. Despite the tensions, these efforts are helping to build stronger ties between India and Israel, showing that understanding and respect can overcome even the toughest challenges. Israeli migration to India is more than an economic story. It's a living experiment in cultural exchange. In Goa, Israelis and Indians celebrate Holi and Hanukkah side by side, their laughter echoing through the streets. In Manali, language classes bring the two communities closer. I love learning Hebrew from my Israeli friends, says Priya, an Indian student, and I teach them Hindi in return. Shared meals are a daily ritual. We cook shakshuka and dal together, laughs Amit, an Israeli chef. Food is our common language. Friendships blossom at music nights and yoga retreats. We may come from different worlds, says Rina, an Israeli traveler, but here, we feel like family. Together, these exchanges are reshaping local identities. Indian towns echo with Hebrew greetings, while Israelis join in Diwali celebrations. The bridge between the two cultures grows stronger every day. And now, many are asking, is India becoming not just a second home, but a permanent destination for Israelis? The answer may lie in these new bonds of friendship and understanding. Millions of Israelis have visited India and thousands are now staying. For some, it's temporary. For others, it's permanent. But either way, this migration is rewriting the story of India-Israel relations. From Goa to Himachal, from spirituality to entrepreneurship, this movement reflects something deeper, a universal human search for peace, identity, and belonging. Do you think India will become the new destination for Israelis in the future? Or will this trend fade away? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thank you for watching.